A New Life is the title of the fifth episode of Season 3 of Snowpiercer, which follows Zarah as she writes a letter to her unborn daughter about the Snowpiercer. Alex begins to care for Wilford, who is still suffering from the effects of the near-fatal bullet wound he sustained. The Snowpiercer's passengers come up with a naming scheme for Leighton and Zarah's unborn child. Zarah's water breaks while she and Leighton are driving about in the night car near the tree, and she goes into labor. Josie learns from Mrs. Hedwood that she has lost her ability to feel pain as a result of the adverse effects of her cold-resistant medication, which she attributes to the treatment. Dr. Pelton is summoned to take care of Zarah because Leighton does not trust Mrs. Hedwood to do so. Ruth is approached by Pike, who inquires about the possibility of taking a position against Leighton. After assuring her that she can put her trust in the present leader, the chief of hospitality removes him. While Ruth and the other passengers are celebrating the arrival of a new baby, the name tree takes fire and catches fire quickly. Bess initiates the probe, and Leighton soon follows suit. Their suspicions point to Lila Jr. as the perpetrator of the fire. Oz and Lila Jr. are quick to dismiss their concerns. As their inquiry proceeds, Bess and Leighton discover that a significant amount of ethanol has been missing, which indicates the possibility of fires. Ben requests that Sykes assist Javi in dealing with his trauma. She joins forces with Javi in order to provide her support. Ben runs into Josie at the engine car and offers to teach her how to operate the train. Josie accepts. As they spend time together, Josie confides in them that she has lost her ability to feel pain. She also inquires as to whether or not Ben is missing Melanie. They also exchange intimacy on a spontaneous basis. A second fire breaks out in the Snowpiercer, which is followed by an explosion that comes dangerously close to killing Leighton. Javi notes that there are no explosive items in the storage area, which concerns him. The moment Leighton manages to escape the explosion, he rushes over to Zarah, who is going through a difficult labor. Snowpiercer Season 3 Episode 5 Ending. Does Zarah give birth? Zarah does, in fact, give birth to a healthy baby girl named Ava. Zarah suffers greatly as a result of the negative effects of the cold-resistant medication that was administered to the baby when she goes into labor. Zarah's temperature begins to progressively decrease as she serves as the host. Dr. Pelton and Mrs. Hedwood use heat blankets to try to bring Zarah's temperature back up to a healthy level. The explosion on the train worsens the situation even more, as Leighton is forced to remain away from the mother of his child as a result of the incident. Dr. Pelton orders Zarah to push in order to deliver the baby, despite the fact that the temperature is decreasing. Zarah gives birth to Leanna after putting up a significant amount of effort. The fact that the infant is well does not rule out the possibility that the cold-resistant treatment she is receiving will become a source of concern for Leighton. Given the negative effects that Josie has as a result of the treatment, it would not be surprising if Leanna begins to experience the same side effects. According to Leighton's concerns, the genetic modification performed on the infant may affect the course of Leanna's life, either for the better or for the worse. As the Snowpiercer draws closer to New Eden, it is believed that Leanna's father and mother would become increasingly concerned about the child's safety outside the train. Does Pike start the fire and the explosion? Why? It appears that Pike has become more unsatisfied with Leighton's leadership and decision-making since his re-emergence as the leader of the Snowpiercer gang. When he advises Ruth to take over leadership of the Snowpiercer from Leighton, it is clear that the former tailie does not want his old friend to have an impact on the train's and passengers' fate. His skepticism about New Eden also demonstrates that he does not trust the falsehood that Leighton and Ashaw have concocted about it. At the conclusion of the episode, Pike hides in the rail car that explodes upon Leighton's arrival, implying that he was involved in both the explosion and the fire that followed. Pike also smashes a remote controller, which may have belonged to the explosive he set in preparation for the explosion. When the fire and explosion occur, it is possible that Pike is trying to alert Leighton, if not outright murdering the leader. Pike's actions could be motivated by Leighton's ambitions to become the next dictator of the Snowpiercer, which Pike may have mistook for an attempt to do so. With the possibility of forcing his love interest Ruth to become the next commander of the train, it's possible that Pike is seeking an authoritarian position for himself, which might lead to him killing or harming Leighton. Since Leighton and Bess were able to escape the explosion, it is possible that they may discover that Pike is the true perpetrator of the two tragedies.